Left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Donald Trump, he's currently facing 4 sets of criminal charges. So I'm going to go down the line here. So he's got the New York for allegedly falsifying business records, the Stormy Daniels type thing. He's got Florida for the alleged willful retention of classified documents. He's got D.C. For allegedly attempting to overturn the election on January 6th. And last but not least, Georgia for allegedly interfering in the 2020 election. Now, the latest indictment in Georgia basically pulled in everybody that ever kissed his ass and charged him with something.
RICO charges.
Yeah, you know, they got them all together. They just
Organized
threw them in
crime.
their organization. Okay. Now, before we jump into the Trump conviction, I'd like to go ahead and let Walanda kind of break down Indictment 101, basically.
Okay, so we'll first just start off with the definition. So indictment, a formal written accusation or charge issued by a grand jury stating that a person has committed a crime and should stand trial. So that's first off, that's definition. Then what happens as far as the process, you have your grand jury. So what does that look like? First step, you have an impanelment. So basically a group of citizens are selected. It's about 16 to 23 from actually the community itself. Okay. So then you have a presentment or indictment is what it's called. And so you're presented by various evidence from the prosecutor. It has to be probable cause, has to be established. They review the information at that point. The evidence includes like witnesses, all type of documentation, even additional information. Then just to know that it is in secrecy. So basically you should know who your grand jury is. The proceedings, complete secret, not disclosed to the public. After that, your grand jury will vote based upon all the information that's been presented to them. And then at that time, they say whether the person's going to be formally indicted or charged. Okay. So what happens with this, though, it's a majority, can be a higher threshold, depends on if it's a federal. The threshold is actually higher for federal crimes on there. And then just to disclose what probable cause means, decisions based on whether there's enough information, right, to charge an individual or to say that somebody's responsible for a crime. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is it's not just like somebody could just go in there and just say, we don't like him, so we're gonna indict him on some stuff. There's a whole,
His ass is in trouble.
yeah, it's a whole like rigmarole that you got to go through. There's evidence. There's all types of stuff that's got to happen, right? And in Georgia particularly, I mean, Ace, this is a big one.
Yeah. You can't just run up and say, I'm going to charge somebody with a RICO charge. You got to have a lot of evidence to prove that. And then, like you said, they summoned the grand jury, all of that good stuff. Yeah, no, this ain't no walk in the park or just an accusation. That means they got a lot of evidence on this guy, on what's happening. So, yeah, that fourth indictment, like you said, is very serious. Now, I mean, I always said, and I keep saying that he did that Stormy Daniels shit. Like, we can just look at him and tell he did that. You know what I'm saying?
No need for a trial.
We don't need no trial. We don't need no grand jury. He fits the MO for that one.
You know.
Older man with a toupee.
And a lot of money.
With a lot of money, sprays orange. He's buying porn stars, though. We already know that. Like, I'm kind of mad they charged his ass.
Like there should be like 50 other people charged. If they gonna
a whole
charge
bunch
him,
of people gonna go down for that one, though. I hate to say it. But that RICO charge stuff, that's serious, man. It's a lot of people. And I don't, and just to throw this in, on my way over here, I was listening to it. And this might be a little off topic. This goes more with January the 6th. That Cheeseboro guy. I don't know if y'all saw that.
Yeah.
Just standing up in the audience. I mean, he's right there in the rides. That directly
on
now
the steps.
Directly now connect the White House to the January 6th thing. So, I mean, it's crazy. They had something called The Gathering yesterday in Atlanta where they were, all the Republicans were meeting and Trump wasn't invited. Now, they say, nah, man, they starting to turn the corner because if he starts losing some of the the base Republicans, it's over for him, man, because I already think he lost the independent vote.
Yeah.
And we know the Democrats ain't gonna vote for him.
Nah.
But I think they starting to peel off the base on him now with all these indictments because they know it's serious.
Yeah.
They know that, I don't know how he's gonna get out of these, man. So
the thing that kind of, from what you just said, the thing I want to touch on is they are still afraid, most Republicans that are candidates for the nomination, they're still very afraid of saying anything. They really tiptoe around like saying anything bad about Trump still today, even with 4 indictments on him.
Yeah. It's because that base, man, is so like for instance, they're threatening the federal judge.
Oh yeah.
They're threatening the jury. It's just a volatile base or people in that base that are just, and people don't want that. They don't want to say the wrong thing and have their family threatened and people calling, talking about they're going to kill them. So they're keeping their mouth shut. But I think that somebody's got to be brave. I mean, you can't run this country on somebody who's able to go out and just, he's going to put people's name out and then change their life. I mean, that's
Right.
what happened to Ruby Freeman.
Yeah.
And that's why they in the RICO charge there. She's just a election worker. And he goes and mentions her names and all these people are coming to her house and threatening her. It's crazy.
Yeah. And even with that being the case where people are being afraid to say anything, we now are seeing action being taken by law enforcement where people who are threatening others are now being sought out. They're being arrested. The one that threatened, I think the judge in the Georgia case, they're investigating and going after individuals for that. They arrested a guy for that. So there is a lot of things happening on the other side of the fence where maybe some of these Republican candidates will feel more comfortable saying something about their opponent instead of just walking around the conversation.
Yeah, this country ain't going to get better until people start speaking up on things that are just wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? Got nothing to do with where you lay politically. You spend time in this country. I don't care if you're Democratic or Republican, Independent or whatever. If it was just wrong, it was just wrong.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. You can't do what he's doing, man. You just can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
We let that fly, then where are we at as a country?
Exactly.
So what are you guys' thoughts on the Georgia indictment?
Well, on the Georgia, the racketeering maximum charge is, I think, starting at 20 years. So just that doesn't include his 45-page indictments and all other kind of stuff. So he has just one little charge on there for 20-year sentences. His fraud is up to 5 years. I mean, he just has counts on counts on counts. So my concern is that's what we have to focus on. Like, what did you do? What is what's going to be the sentence for it on there? Because he has so many. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to. I'd be afraid if I was him because I was reading about how many counts he has. I was like, so this one charge carries 20 years and you got 48 others that we're not even going into play. So him
91 counts.
Right. Yeah. So him avoiding any type of should be prison sentence, I just don't see how that's likely. Not with the evidence.
So that goes to the question that our main question today is like, so what happens next? Let's say he's convicted. Like, what happens? Like, he's got a bunch of different charges out there against him that have several different years or fines or whatever the case may be. As a president, there are some things that you get, right? Some benefits of being a president. Are those things going to be revoked? Some people are out there talking about taking his Supreme Court justice appointments away from people. Like there's all type of things. So what are your thoughts on what happens next if he's convicted of any, let's just say any of them, doesn't matter which one. What do you think will happen?
Well, he's not going to D block. We know that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know that.
I don't think he's going to D block. I mean, I think the thing is he's got like because of what he's done, he's still an ex-president. Ex-presidents come with protection, and you know how you gonna throw him in? You throw him into prison with a whole bunch of criminals. That's all type of extortion, all kinds of stuff going on. And plus, he has that detail I want to say for life. I mean, regardless on the chapter of history that he's been in our lives, he's still a chapter of history, and the country can't just.
Oh, he's writing his chapter.
Yeah.
Regardless,
but
of
you can't, as much as we like to, you can't just, throw him up in Leavenworth and be like, all right, he's good.
So let me ask you: the rules change, right? Should they change if he's convicted? Should they be revoked? I hear what you're saying about today, a president gets all of these things, but this is unprecedented. We've never had a president who went through this to have their let's call them presidential benefits, whatever you want to call them, revoked. Is this a case where? And I'm not saying that I don't think that the judge and the jury need to decide that, because
it's not their place.
It's not their place, right? They're supposed to just sentence this guy. He gets 20 years. After that, it's up to someone else, I don't know, Congress to change, maybe revoke those things. I don't know. Like, it's possible, right? I mean, it's not like he has to have it. Isn't it possible that things could change?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the sake of the country, they'd either come up with some kind of way to exile him that would make sense, or they would have him on like a serious house arrest. You know?
So when you say exile, you mean like send him to another country? Like, do we get to pick the country? Like Bolivia, like send him somewhere bad where you got to live in Guatemala in the jungle. You can't like get yourself, because he got money.
Honduras.
He's got connections. Like, you know
I think exile. The only time I heard that was on Game of Thrones. Man. Like, I don't think they exiled nobody since sword.
Yeah, that's
they
what
was
I'm
fighting with
wondering. I'm
swords.
kind of like, you know,
afraid of dragons and shit like that.
I don't know if exile is really on the table. Maybe it is. Like you said, things change. Like I just said, things can change.
I mean, but like, you know, they got like 3 Mile Island, which I'm just thinking, like, they got islands out there that ain't got nothing on it. You know what I'm saying? And when I mean exile, like, they can put them out there and be like, you know, you can't leave this island for 20 years or whatever.
Okay, I feel you on
and set
that.
it up or whatever. You know, I don't think they like, you know, exile him and this fool get to go to Dubai. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm
kicking
worried
it.
about that. Yeah,
you know,
no
or
doubt.
worse than that, he just goes to Moscow and just starts dropping secrets all over the place.
Exactly.
I think it's something controlled to where he's imprisoned, but it's not like he's going to D-Block and he got to worry about Tyrone raping him and shit like that. I think it's going to be, you know, I think it's going to be like something special where he's set up. It's still going to be luxurious.
These are your new presidential benefits.
Yeah, they're going to be flying stuff into him, you know what I'm saying? His Secret Service will really be his prison guards now, you know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
But we can't make it pretty. This is, I mean, I know logistics and security and all the politics around it, but all these charges and indictments and conspiracy, and some of them are even against defrauding the United States. You defrauded the United States, you don't get happy land when you go to jail.
Yeah,
right?
but he's got money and prestige. And unfortunately, that goes a long way in the justice system. I hate to say it.
Well, that's what we need to change, because to me,
yeah.
the justice system wouldn't be equitable and fair to all of us if it's, well, he was the president and he has money. That you committed a crime,
Well,
and
Trump's doing what
crimes
he's
have
doing.
consequences.
Yeah, Trump's doing what he's doing because he knows it ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? He knows the system ain't fair. He knows he knows he got money. He can play the delay game. Now he done messed up to where he can't do that now.
Right,
you
right.
know. But he's been doing this for his whole life. You know, he got suits from the 80s. He ain't still settled. He just been delaying. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it ain't fair. It ain't right. But he kind of got the country on a barrel. And I say that because at the end of the day, we still can't just like let somebody take him off and go do something with him because we mad at him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
you know, can you imagine Iranians grab Trump or something like that?
So,
You know what I'm saying?
so I understand all of that. My thing is this: as far as like prison, I don't think that prison is off the table. I think that he's a citizen, and every citizen can be imprisoned if they break the law, and if there are certain consequences that are written out there. Billionaires have gone to jail.
Oh yeah,
there's been all types of people. There have been politicians who've gone to jail before, not
Police
presidents.
officers.
Police officers, they go to jail. Like, there's a lot of people out there who like, hey, if you put them with all these other people, they're going to get their ass raped. You're going to get your ass raped. Sorry, Mr. Policeman. We know they're going to try to kill you, Mr. Policeman. We're going to put, and in certain cases, they put protective measures around these individuals. Like, to your point, exile. Exile could be solitary confinement. They're still in the prison. They just in solitary. Now, will there be opportunity for people to get at him if he's in a prison? Probably. Like if he gets on the yard and they let somebody, like a guard lets him in. Like we've seen corruption in prison systems before, where guards will let a criminal get in there with somebody else that shouldn't, and they hurt them or they stab them or whatever. But I don't think it's off the table. I think that he could go to jail and he could be in solitary, and that would absolve the CIA from having to have a man with him at all times. If he's in solitary, what's the need for CIA to be there? Right? I mean, my opinion, I think that it's a possibility, but once again, I don't think that it's the responsibility. I think it's after, and I think we might be jumping the gun. So here's where I'm going with that. we don't know if he's gonna get convicted.
True.
In these cases,
True.
it has to be a unanimous
Yep.
True.
decision by the jury.
Yeah, that's still
I
up for
think we
grabs.
might be jumping the gun a little bit. I think this reminds me a lot about 2016 when he was running and he was a candidate, and everybody, he's not going to get the nomination. He's Trump. He got it. He's never going to beat Hillary. He beat her. Right?
Yeah.
We were all jumping the gun and saying what was going to happen, and it didn't. And I'm afraid all it takes is one Trump lover.
That's it.
It just takes one Trump lover on the jury for it to be him not to be found guilty,
Right.
or
That's
to even to have someone on to have a mistrial or whatever, right? Even to have one or two people to start convincing other people, and then they find him not guilty,
Yeah.
rather than it being a no decision, a mistrial, right? So let's not jump the gun.
Oh, definitely.
Dude,
Oh yeah. I don't,
dude could get off.
Yeah, I don't believe he's 100% out of the waterway. He's going to get convicted. I'm with you. I agree with that. But I think we were talking the what if,
Right,
what
right.
if he's convicted?
Right,
So-
right, correct.
And I hear you on the solitary confinement, going back to what you were saying. But my thing is his name is too big, not only in the country, but in the world, where if we do put him in prison, all eyes are going to be on us. And as a country, we've always wanted to perceive ourselves as fair and blah, blah, blah. So I think
So
that,
wouldn't fair be putting him in jail?
yeah, fair would be a lot of things. Fair would have been impeaching him. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that would have been fair. So what if he is convicted? Then what do we do? I think they do change the rules. I mean, that's just the way I'm laying with it.
Yeah.
They figure out a way to do it. If it's just for national security or just the way we look in the world, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the only thing. And I think that's the only reason he does what he does, because he knows that, like, what are they going to do?
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they know the world state. Everybody's looking.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at United States. United States used to be number one. Everyone wanted to be United States. And now we look crazy. Like we have possibly put somebody into power who's a criminal. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where we're at. Like our president could be possibly a criminal. And so I think they are concerned about how it looks to other countries. Do we look weak?
Yeah.
Do we look vulnerable?
Yeah. And let's lay it on the line. Do we really think he's out of the running for the election? We still don't know that yet.
Nope.
Like,
He's still in there.
He might be president. Convicted
Serving
president.
from a jail cell or
You know
from
what
an
I'm saying?
island somewhere.
And we don't know. So we just, it's crazy that Trump came in and just threw this country on, on the back like it
On
is.
his head. Like,
One thing I think we leave out is, what's up with Kanye West damn assistant? How the hell she get tied up with this?
I have no idea, man.
What black people doing, man?
Hey, I don't know, bro. All you got to do is like, and it's sad because it's kind of like, to me, when I think about that, I think about that dude that in the Mar-a-Lago case with the documents.
Who moved
Oh
in?
yeah.
Yeah, who just doing his job, man. He like, yeah, this man helped me. I started off here as a valet, and now I'm in charge of all these other people. I'm gonna be loyal to him, and I'm just gonna move this stuff for him, not thinking that he would end up in this mess. And I think the same thing happened to the Kanye's assistant. I think Kanye asked her to do something, probably didn't send it in a text though. He's like, you ain't gonna catch me out there. He knows. He been on social media. He's like, look, can you do this real quick? And she probably did something that she was asked to do by either Trump or Kanye, and now she's in the mix, which is sad that these little people get taken down. But it's all like Stacey said. It's a means to an end. Like, look, you're a little guy. I know Trump, Kanye might pay your legal fees, but you're going to jail, buddy. So you want to flip or you want to sit in a cell? It's up to you. And I think that it's a means to an end for them. I think that's why they charging people like that do menial
To force
little
them.
things
To force them
to get more evidence, to get them
Yeah.
on their side.
I mean, but she was kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh yeah, I'm not saying she was right.
yeah, no, I'm just saying she just, she went to first they sent a gentleman over there to talk to Ruby Freeman, and asked Ruby Freeman to basically say she made a mistake or messed up at her job, being an election official. She didn't work, so they sent a brother over there, Harrison Floyd. Couldn't have convinced her. Then I don't know, somehow she got to the police station or whatever, then there comes in the assistant for Kanye West. I wonder how Kanye felt when he just saw that on the news. Like, Kanye West assistant, everybody just turned around, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't go nowhere near whatever's going on down there, man. You don't want
Yeah.
your name tied up with that. And Kanye ain't that damn crazy. I know he don't want that.
Oh, nah, he don't want none of that business.
Yeah, so.
I think it's, like you said, she knew she was wrong. I think the dude in Mar-a-Lago knew he was wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, asking somebody, hey, delete these videotapes. Come on, bro. You know you ain't supposed to ask nobody to delete evidence. I mean, they know they wrong. They have a I don't know, loyalty towards whoever that is that they work for, and unfortunately, that loyalty is going to get them in trouble.
Let me tell you what my loyalty would end with Trump. When he didn't bring me no lawyer. He got a lawyer and I ain't got no lawyer at court. Loyalty's done. I'm singing right there, bro. Like, you bought a lawyer and didn't bring me no lawyer, and I moved these boxes that say top secret on it. Like, I probably didn't know exactly was that wrong. I can get caught up in the game, but now I'm up in court. Nah, bro, you know what I'm saying? That loyalty is gone.
Yeah, he might not have known like moving the boxes was a big deal. Maybe he didn't. I mean, his boss got these boxes all over the house. All over the mansion, the compound, whatever you want to call it.
Restroom.
Yeah, but he got them everywhere. So he probably didn't even think that was a big deal.
Yeah.
He didn't think he was big. But once you ask somebody to delete evidence off a video,
it's a totally different.
I think you know you're doing something wrong at that point. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, but then once again, you got a track record of like not paying lawyers, not helping the people who helped you. If they, you know, like what's his Michael
Cohen?
Michael
Cohen?
Michael Cohen.
Straight did prison time.
Giuliani.
Giuliani lost his
paid
life.
that
Going.
man.
He about to.
He didn't pay that man for the work he did.
Didn't pay Giuliani.
And now Giuliani come crawling back to him saying, can you pay my legal fees for this? I'm in this mix with you. He told him no.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But we supposed to believe for total strangers that Donald Trump is here to support us as people.
Nah.
But he doesn't even support the people close to him that he has a relationship with.
They did his
Come
dirt.
on, man.
They did his dirt.
Come on, people. Y'all
got
gotta
in them
get your
streets.
heads
Like
right.
Giuliani got in them streets. You know what I'm saying? He completely ruined his name.
Yeah.
You know? And you're right. He didn't get paid, man, and he don't pay nobody. So I don't know and understand like how people still falling for that one. Like, dude, he ain't paid nobody.
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
He does not even take care of his own obligations, his own personal obligations, but he's supposed to take care of me and you.
Yeah, man.
The country and thinking about us before himself.
No, he ain't never gonna do that. There's a lot of little people.
Right.
A lot of little people, man, that are gonna do some serious prison time, and he gonna still be free.
We had a few different conversations about the political consequences. Like he could be the president in jail. You talked about that. What are some of those things on y'all's mind as far as like, hey, this could really happen if he's convicted?
Well, I'm just hoping that Congress is already having conversations because they should be. Like, what happens if? What is the what if? Yes, the proactive stance on that. And personally, like again, I can't even wrap my hand around the fact that somebody could be the president of the United States, but also be a criminal all in the same sentence. Like, we got to do something. We got to do better. And then what are the consequences of that? What does that look like? Does he still get to hold the fact that he was? I mean, I know we can't change history like everybody else wants to on that, but do we hold him in the same, you know, as like Barack Obama and your Clintons and, you know, your Reagans? I don't understand. Like, does he still get, far as CIA following him around, does this still have to be something in place? Or is that something that Congress gets involved in? I don't know. That information, I tried to search it and I didn't find anything out. So I'm sure I would be thinking they're having these conversations, though.
Yeah, he's definitely in the gray. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With the Constitution. I think the best thing is we can change the Constitution to where if something else comes up like this, it's written in black and white what would happen. Right. I think that we're probably writing legislation right there on that. I think the biggest fear that people probably ain't talking about is he becomes a political martyr. Like we convict him, we punish him, and now he's still got a soapbox, and now he's rallying these people to really be negative. Like, hey, you know,
because they think it's stolen. Yeah, because there's some people out there still thinks the election was stolen. Like that's how they truly feel that he was wronged for whatever reason. All the information we have out there. So how do you get to those people? Because those people still are voting.
I don't think you can get to them. You know, I don't think you can change them. You know, it's just there. You know, it's funny. I was having a conversation with my mom about a coworker of mine, and I said, that's their belief. No matter what, I don't even, but that's how they believe, and they don't believe anything else. That's their belief, to the point we were talking, and we're just having general conversation, and then it just turned left, and I was like, oh, I forgot. You one of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was just all conspiracy theories and things
Yes.
like that. And I just think, I'm not saying it's hopeful, but trying to be a little sympathetic. That's what they believe. That's a source of theirs. They believe that, and unfortunately, they're being manipulated out of that. So I don't know how that happens. But it's funny. You said, does he get the perks of the presidency? Trump might be the first president that's going to name a prison library after. You know what I'm saying? His presidential library is going to be in a prison. You know what I'm saying? That'd be messed up.
No.
What about like him being able to? Right now, there's nothing stopping him from being president. I mean, I don't think that most political offices, and anybody out there can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that a convicted criminal cannot hold a political office. I know he can be president and be a.
No, I don't. You're saying if he's committed with a federal crime that he can still run for presidency?
There's been someone in the past that has done that. A criminal
That's
ran
funny.
for president from jail.
Yeah. 13th Amendment, you can't vote.
But you can't vote, so I don't
Exactly.
understand
It's
how
crazy.
You can't vote, for
but you
yourself,
can run for
But you can run.
the presidency.
I don't think there is any.
I looked at. I don't know.
You can. You don't have to believe me.
Yeah,
I
well,
know,
you
you
wanna
know.
look up stuff.
I
just told you.
I believe you. I'm just saying.
I can
where's
imagine
that
Sunday.
source?
I can imagine
do.
Sundays
It's all
over
good.
here.
You're gonna look it up. You'll find it when you look it up.
I can imagine Sundays over here. You just can't. She don't take nothing on face value. From you.
Bro, she be
I mean,
looking up everything I say.
okay.
Don't it piss you off like when your girl, like, you work in the field. Like, that's what you do. You know what I'm
knows
saying? Like,
I research
I've been in
stuff.
furniture and I be telling like, you can't move that couch like that. But, oh, man, I don't know. All right, man, knock
Go
yourself
ahead.
out.
Break
Like,
your back.
Yeah, go ahead and talk. I'm gonna.
Look, she
Look
gonna look
at
that
her.
up.
She look at her. Yeah,
Just
dude
look-
like in the 1800s that ran
Yeah,
for
a
president
dude-
from the.
that.
But now, can you? run
Yes,
for,
there's
They
no
haven't
law
they
against
haven't
it now.
changed it.
They have
Yeah.
not changed the Constitution to say
we
anything
gotta
that you can't.
change that. Can you
So-
run for presidency?
Yeah.
Yes, you
You
can.
were.
And so
Fact check Jesus, though.
Yeah, that's all
Should
right.
fact
It's
check
all good.
Jesus.
I love her. I love her. So
I'm not gullible. See, that's all that means. I'm just saying.
so
She don't believe both of us. We
basically,
both told
it's
her.
all good, man.
presidency.
So would Trump be barred from holding? Should he be barred from holding office?
Yes.
If he's convicted.
Yes. He shouldn't be able to run for PTA president. Like, they
So-
should just.
You stupid.
They make it like it's a yeah. It's a lot of things.
Yeah. Oh well, you should have gasped when I said it. You shouldn't
Oh,
have to
my
look it
God.
up first. So
We're gonna have a pause for a moment.
You said it. You said it, and I
Silence,
said it. You know what
so
I'm
he
saying?
don't get.
all that matters is that I said it. If you would have said it before I did,
Look,
she would have believed it.
I did. That's true. I question both of y'all. I'm just like, this is nuts to me. How can you be convicted of a crime and still found?
So basically, like I said, the question still stands. So obviously, we know what your thought. You say no, obviously, and you've already said
Constitution
no.
change.
Yeah.
Right. There would have to be a change to the Constitution for that to
Well, let's go.
happen. It's not easy to amend the Constitution.
And it was Eugene versus Debs, just to let you know who did that, who campaigned from a prison cell. Okay. It's Eugene versus Debs. That's the
Versus
court case.
is his name?
So, no, Eugene v. Debs. Sorry.
It was a
Eugene
court
v.
case.
Debs. It was a court case, too.
Okay.
To see.
I'm like,
So,
what is his name though? Is he Eugene or is he?
I guess Eugene.
All right.
I'll have to find more information.
We know
That's
he
very
can.
intriguing.
You know he can run for president from the jail cell. We know.
Yeah.
Wow.
He could be president in jail. He could run for president from jail. He could.
You know,
Doesn't
they may
matter.
have that because they'd be thinking, who in the right mind would vote? But look at our country right now. Like,
Well,
We could have-
there are a
like,
lot
it
of
wouldn't even
questions.
surprise me.
To your point, there are a lot of
It's
things that
nuts.
we're questioning now, and there were a lot of rules that we've had in place that were based on morals that just get blown out the water right now. We look at our Supreme Court justices.
They don't
They're supposed
know.
to have like ethics, a code
Integrity.
of ethics, and integrity. There's certain things they shouldn't be doing, but they do.
Clarence
because-
Thomas getting lit on yachts, man.
You know what I'm
He's
saying? Just doing whatever.
blowing cigar smoke,
because we
man,
because
and
we
just-
thought, well, these are Supreme Court judges. They're
they have
not going to
morals.
do
They
that.
believe in integrity.
Nah, they
We
get-
should have had more stringent rules that of what they can and cannot do. Which there's a gray area out there that they're exploiting to be able to do the things that they want to do. Just like this, like you would think, like you said, babe, like nobody wants to vote for a criminal. No. Well, if he's in jail, I bet you he's going to get votes. He's going to get millions.
Well, yeah, a lot of people
Of
think
votes.
he's
Because
being
they would say
persecuted.
they don't feel like
That's why.
he shouldn't be in jail.
Yeah, a lot of people think he's being persecuted. So that's why he says every indictment he gets more powerful.
It's true.
Going to jail, he gets more powerful because it makes it legitimately look
He
like.
running out of money though.
Yeah, he sure is.
This cat gonna end up like
sure is.
if it weren't for all of his political contributions and stuff, he wouldn't be able to carry the weight of all these charges against him.
Well, you know, what happens is he utilizes the platform of him being persecuted to raise more money.
Yep.
Hey, man, I need your help, man. They're coming after me, you know.
Yeah.
So it's he's running out of money. He can't pay Giuliani. I'd be state's evidence right now if you couldn't pay me, man. I'd be
like, well, we done. It's a wrap. I'm about to become America's mayor again.